your go-to channel for the latest motorcycle reviews, future bike concepts, and everything two-wheeled. In today's video, we're diving into the newly revealed 2026 Kawasaki KLR 650, a bike that continues to carry the torch for dependable dual-sport machines. Whether you're a longtime fan of the KLR or someone eyeing it as a first adventure bike, the 2026 model brings a mix of time-tested reliability with just enough new-age upgrades to keep it relevant in the ever-evolving ADV world. Let's explore what's changed, what stayed the same, and whether the 2026 KLR 650 is still the king of budget-friendly adventure touring. Overview of the KLR legacy. The Kawasaki KLR 650 has been around in one form or another since the late 1980s. It's built a cult following thanks to its simplicity, ruggedness, and ability to go just about anywhere without breaking the bank. After being briefly discontinued in 2018, the KLR made a strong comeback in 2022 with a fuel-injected engine and subtle improvements. Fast forward to 2026, and Kawasaki continues to refine the platform without compromising its identity. The 2026 KLR isn't a radical redesign, and that's exactly what its fans want. This model isn't trying to compete with high-end adventure bikes like the BMW GS or KTM 890 Adventure. Instead, it stays in its own lane, offering straightforward performance, massive reliability, and a go-anywhere spirit that fits solo overlanders, budget-conscious travelers, and practical commuters. Design and styling updates. At first glance, the 2026 KLR 650 looks familiar, but Kawasaki has made some subtle yet impactful styling updates. The front fairing is more angular, with sharper lines and a slightly more modern aesthetic. The windshield has been redesigned to offer better wind deflection for taller riders, and there's an optional adjustable touring screen available for the first time. New color schemes for 2026 include a matte forest green, a deep graphite black, and an exclusive desert tan with black accents available only on the adventure trim. The rugged and purposeful look is still very much intact, but now with a touch more polish and attention to visual detail. Engine and performance. Under the hood, or rather, under the tank, sits the same 652 cubic centimeters, single-cylinder, four-stroke engine introduced in 2022. It remains fuel-injected and liquid-cooled, with a few refinements to the ECU mapping for 2026 that improve throttle response and fuel efficiency, especially at mid-range RPMs. Horsepower remains modest at around 40 horsepower, and torque stays close to 39 pound-foot, but that's plenty for a bike designed for versatility rather than speed. The KLR's thumper engine is tuned for low-end grunt, making it great for climbing hills, crawling through trails, or carrying gear over long distances. Kawasaki also claims a slight reduction in vibration through updated engine mounts and a revised counterbalancer shaft. While it's not a completely smooth ride like a twin-cylinder bike, it's noticeably more comfortable on extended highway runs. Chassis and suspension. One of the biggest strengths of the KLR has always been its frame and suspension setup, simple, strong, and capable of taking abuse. The 2026 model continues with a semi-double cradle frame that's stiff enough for carrying heavy loads, and the suspension remains unchanged in core specs, a 41mm front fork and a unitrack rear shock with adjustable preload and rebound damping. However, Kawasaki has slightly increased the suspension travel, by about 5mm front and rear, giving it a touch more off-road capability. It's not a hardcore enduro machine, but the extra travel will be appreciated by those who take the KLR on rugged trails or fully loaded tours. Ground clearance is still around 8.3 inches, and seat height remains a manageable 34.3 inches, striking a good balance between accessibility and off-road readiness. Technology and features. Kawasaki has historically kept the KLR 650 fairly minimal in terms of electronics, and that philosophy continues in 2026, but with a few thoughtful enhancements. First, the LCD instrument panel has been updated with a cleaner layout, better backlighting, and the addition of Bluetooth connectivity. Riders can now pair their phones to get call notifications, GPS prompts, and basic ride data. The Adventure and Traveler trims now come standard with a USB-C charging port in addition to the existing 12V outlet, catering to riders using modern devices and action cameras. ABS remains optional on the base model and standard on higher trims, but now it's switchable at the rear wheel for better off-road control, a feature many riders have been asking for. There's no ride-by-wire, traction control, or ride modes, and honestly, that's by design. The KLR keeps things analog where it counts, making it easy to repair in remote areas and less reliant on electronics that could fail under pressure. Fuel capacity and range. One of the standout features of the KLR 650 has always been its large fuel tank, and the 2026 model continues this tradition with a 6.1-gallon tank. Combined with improved fuel efficiency thanks to updated ECU mapping, the estimated range is now over 300 miles per tank, ideal for remote adventure travel or long touring days with few fuel stops. For overlanders and backcountry explorers, this is a huge plus. You're not constantly watching the fuel gauge or carrying extra jerry cans unless you're deep into no man's land. Variants and pricing. The 2026 KLR 650 is available in 3 trims, the Base, Adventure, and Traveler models. The Base model is stripped down and focused on essentials. It's perfect for riders who want to build their own adventure machine. The Adventure model includes factory panniers, crash bars, fog lights, and the new dual-port charging system. The Traveler model offers a balance between the two, adding a top case and upgraded touring seat, but without full crash protection or fog lights. Pricing starts at around $7,399 for the Base model, with the Adventure trim coming in at about $8,699. That positions the KLR well below most mid-size ADV competitors, making it one of the best value propositions in the segment. Who is the 2026 KLR 650 for? The 2026 Kawasaki KLR 650 isn't trying to be the fastest, most advanced, or most powerful ADV bike on the market. Instead, it's laser-focused on being reliable, affordable, and capable. Qualities that matter most when you're 200 miles from the nearest paved road or gas station. It's the ideal choice for new riders looking for an approachable ADV bike, budget-conscious travelers who want range and simplicity, off-the-grid overlanders who prioritize durability over tech, commuters who want a rugged ride that can handle weekend escapes. Final thoughts: a modern classic that still delivers. The 2026 Kawasaki KLR 650 continues to walk the fine line between evolution and tradition. Kawasaki hasn't radically changed the bike, and that's exactly why people love it. It still embodies the spirit of go-anywhere freedom, wrapped in a package that's easy to maintain and hard to break. Sure, there are lighter and more high-tech adventure bikes out there, but none offer the same mix of proven reliability, real-world capability, and affordability as the KLR. If you're looking for a no-nonsense bike that can take you across a continent, or just to work and back without emptying your wallet, the 2026 KLR 650 remains a rock-solid choice. Outro: subscribe to Bike Future. That wraps up our deep dive into the 2026 Kawasaki KLR 650. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Bike Future for more in-depth reviews and motorcycle news from across the globe. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you planning to pick up the new KLR, or are you sticking with an older model? We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and as always, ride safe, ride far, and we'll see you in the next one.